Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you're never going to die. Not next year. Not in 100 years. Not in 1,000. Your body simply keeps going. No wrinkles. No failing organs. No diseases caused by aging. Just life. Forever. At first, that sounds amazing. More time with family. More adventures. More knowledge. More chances. But then another question appears. If humans could become immortal, would we actually want to? And perhaps an even bigger question. Is immortality even scientifically possible? Or is death built into life itself? Today, we're exploring one of humanity's oldest dreams. Could humans become immortal? And the answer is much stranger than you might think. Most people assume aging is unavoidable, like gravity or the sunrise. But biologists see it differently. Your body isn't programmed to die. It's programmed to survive long enough to reproduce. After that, evolution becomes much less concerned. Natural selection rewards traits that help you pass on your genes. It doesn't necessarily reward living forever. Imagine buying a car. If you only needed it for 10 years, you probably wouldn't spend extra money making it last 1,000. Evolution works in a similar way. It builds bodies that are good enough. Not perfect. Not eternal. Just good enough to survive and reproduce. That's why aging exists. Not because evolution wanted us to die, but because it never had a reason to make us immortal. Here's something incredible. Most of your body is constantly replacing itself. Your skin, your blood, your intestines, even parts of your skeleton. Cells are dying and being replaced every single day. In fact, millions of cells die every second. Yet somehow you remain you. So why doesn't this process continue forever? Because every copy introduces tiny mistakes. Imagine photocopying the same page. Once. Twice. 100 times. Eventually, the image begins to fade. Your cells face a similar problem. Every time they divide, tiny errors accumulate. DNA becomes damaged. Proteins stop working properly. Cells become less efficient. Over decades, those tiny errors build into aging. Inside every chromosome, there's a protective cap called a telomere. Think of it like the plastic tip on a shoelace. Without it, the lace begins to unravel. Every time one of your cells divides, its telomeres become slightly shorter. Eventually, they're too short. The cell stops dividing. This is called cellular senescence. Instead of dying, some of these cells linger. They release inflammatory chemicals. They damage nearby tissue. Scientists sometimes call them zombie cells. Not because they eat brains, but because they're alive, without functioning properly. As more zombie cells accumulate, the body ages faster. Wrinkles appear. Muscles weaken. Healing slows. The question is, could we remove them? At this point, you might be thinking, if cells keep dividing forever, wouldn't that cause cancer? And that's exactly the problem. Cancer is almost the opposite of aging. Old cells stop dividing. Cancer cells never want to stop. They're effectively trying to become immortal. The trouble is, they do it in the worst possible way. Instead of helping the body, they hijack it, grow uncontrollably, and eventually destroy the very system keeping them alive. So scientists face a difficult balancing act. Make cells live longer, without making them impossible to stop. That's much harder than it sounds. But here's something even stranger. Humans aren't the longest living creatures on Earth. Not even close. Some animals seem to have found ways to slow aging dramatically. Take the Greenland shark. Some scientists estimate they can live for around 400 years. That means one of these sharks swimming today could have been alive before Isaac Newton wrote the laws of motion. Then there are bowhead whales. Many live for more than 200 years. Despite their enormous size, they rarely develop cancer compared to what scientists would expect. Somehow, their cells seem unusually good at repairing themselves. And then there's an animal that almost sounds fictional. The jellyfish Turritopsis dohrnii. When it's injured or starving or simply getting old, it can reverse its own development. Instead of dying, it transforms back into an earlier stage of life. Then it grows up all over again. Scientists sometimes call it the immortal jellyfish. Not because nothing can kill it. Predators still can. Disease still can. But because aging alone doesn't seem to end its life. That raises an incredible question. If evolution found a way to dramatically slow, or even reverse, aging in other species, could humans someday borrow those tricks? For decades, scientists focused on treating diseases. Cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's. But today, many researchers are asking a different question. What if aging itself is the disease? If you could slow aging, you might delay dozens of diseases at once. Researchers are already studying drugs that remove senescent cells, gene therapies, stem cells, DNA repair, cellular reprogramming. Some experiments have even reversed signs of aging in mice. Older mice regained healthier muscles, better eyesight, improved organs. It's still early. But for the first time, scientists aren't just treating old age. They're trying to reverse it. In the 1990s, scientists studying tiny worms discovered something shocking. Changing just one gene doubled the worm's lifespan. One gene. Twice the life. Since then, researchers have discovered many genes involved in aging. Some influence metabolism. Others repair DNA. Some help cells survive stress. This doesn't mean humans can double their lifespan tomorrow. But it proved something important. Aging isn't fixed. It's biological. And biology can sometimes be changed. And here's something we often forget. Just a century ago, the average human lifespan was dramatically shorter than it is today. Not because our genes changed, but because science did. Vaccines, clean water, antibiotics, safer childbirth, modern surgery. Together, they added decades to the average human life. In other words, we've already been extending human lifespan for generations. The question isn't whether science can make us live longer. It's how much longer. So imagine someone born today. Medical technology improves every decade. At age 40, scientists cure one major disease. At 70, they reverse part of aging. At 90, damaged organs can be grown in a lab. At 120, DNA repair becomes routine. Each breakthrough buys more time. Long enough for the next breakthrough to arrive. Scientists sometimes call this longevity escape velocity. The idea is simple. If medicine extends your life faster than you're aging, you may never catch up with death. Nobody knows if this will actually happen. But for the first time in history, some researchers think it's at least worth asking. Now imagine something even stranger. Millions of microscopic robots, smaller than cells, traveling through your bloodstream, repairing damage, destroying cancer cells, cleaning arteries, replacing worn-out molecules. This idea sounds like science fiction, because for now, it mostly is. Scientists are developing tiny medical devices, but true repair nanobots remain hypothetical. Still, if such technology became possible, it could continuously repair damage before it accumulated. Your body wouldn't simply heal. It would receive constant maintenance, almost like updating software. Some people think immortality won't come from biology. They think it'll come from computers. The idea goes like this. Scan every neuron, every connection, every memory, then recreate it digitally. Would that digital mind still be you? Or would it simply be a copy, watching the original disappear? Nobody knows, because consciousness remains one of science's greatest mysteries. We still don't fully understand how subjective experience arises. Without solving consciousness, digital immortality remains a philosophical puzzle. And even if we solved aging, another problem remains. Your brain. Unlike your skin or your blood, many neurons are expected to last your entire lifetime. They don't simply get replaced. Instead, they spend decades accumulating wear and tear. Proteins misfold. Connections weaken. Waste products slowly build up. Diseases like Alzheimer's remind us that keeping the body alive isn't enough. The mind has to survive too. Living forever doesn't mean much if your memories disappear. So one of the biggest challenges isn't extending life. It's extending a healthy mind. Suppose immortality becomes possible. Now imagine billions of immortal people. Would anyone retire? Would younger generations ever get opportunities? Would governments change? Would families? Would relationships? What would happen to overpopulation? Resources? Innovation? Death is tragic. But strangely, it also makes room for change. A world without death would be unlike anything humans have ever experienced. Immortality might solve one problem, only to create dozens more. Think about money for a moment. Imagine you're 800 years old. Would you still save for retirement? Would retirement even exist? Would universities still teach 4-year degrees, or would people study for 50 years before choosing a career? Would marriages last centuries? Would countries elect leaders for decades? Would anyone take risks if they had forever to wait? Immortality wouldn't just change medicine. It would change economics, politics, education, relationships. Almost every part of civilization would need to be reinvented. And then there's the hard